Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise, and this reading is for Wednesday, March 24th, 2021. And of course, I'm always looking for a spiritual message. Ooh, well, we have it right there. Temperance. Oh my goodness, another major arcana. And then Magician reversed. And wow, 3 major arcanas and the Hanged Man reversed. Okay, so I'm also going to use some oracle cards. So let me go ahead and just do that rather than putting it off towards the end. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, making my back away from the table a little bit, making my camera move. Okay, so this deck is this. Wisdom of the Oracle by Collette, Baron-Reid. But it's a really large deck, and I trimmed it down to make it borderless and, trim the ends and all that. So I apologize if you order it and it comes in a much bigger size, but you can trim it down. It's just a lot of work. Okay, so what else do we need to know here? Ooh. Okay. Awesome. So our theme here is the Magician. But because it came through reversed, we're in that realm. When the Magician reversed comes through, we're in that realm of... oh, where's my chopstick? I can't talk without my chopstick. We're in that realm of not really understanding how powerful, actually, I should say, that we are in creating our own reality. And once you get that, it shifts your... it's just a paradigm shift. It shifts your reality in a way that changes your life, and you can't go back. You can't go back. You can have relapses. Relapses into your previous levels of insanity where you spin in vicious circles. And I'm speaking for myself. I'm not putting this on anyone else, but let me know if you don't agree. But at least for me, what happened in the previous incarnation of where I didn't realize I was creating it all, I often felt like a victim of circumstances beyond my control. And of course, when I was in that realm that way, I was very I didn't make decisions that were good, and I didn't come from the place of understanding that on the daily little levels, you realize, yeah, I did this, so there's that. You have your consequences that come into your consciousness. But with the bigger pictures, as far as relationships with other people and, getting to the place where I was in my own authority, I didn't know how much I self-sabotaged and how much I set myself up to be used and abused and taken advantage of, or at the very least, not respected, not encouraged. I didn't realize that most of my relationships were a mirror to the unhealed issues that I had with my parents. So, but the cool thing is all that got me onto my path of working on those issues and then eventually, helping others. So it was actually good. But when we have the Magician come through reverse, we feel like we're kind of weak, and we don't really know what's going on, and we don't really have the willpower, because when it's straight up, we have the willpower to know that everything that we will ever want, with infinite abundance, is within us to create. We have all the tools at our, they are our resources that are within. And as long as we step into our lives fully, the lifeblood of this cape here, this robe that shows he knows, at least, this person knows that they have pretty much mastery over creating their own reality. Now, life isn't perfect, and we're not perfect, so when things don't go right, it's really important to not take yourself too seriously in that area, and to not take it personally. Notice the white lilies here, which show purity, and of course there's the red rose, which is like, what are you attracted to? What do you love? And of course, the wand is up here, and we have another wand here, and the sword, and the pentacle, and the cup. We have all the tools. I think this might be like, the magician's wand. Like, just go for it. Shazam! You can bring it in. But when it's reversed, we don't know that yet. We just don't. And as we're learning, of course, you turn it all around. So life comes in, the temperance card comes in and teaches us that there are spiritual laws involved that we're always, working with back and forth. We have part of our spirit here on earth, and then we have another big part of our spirit in the spirit world up here as well. In the spirit world, we are all angels who brought in a piece of soul substance that needed to wake up and remember who we truly are in spirit. So I feel like our soul and our spirit are two different things. Like, our spirit is always whole and beautiful and whole, just whole, completely aligned with the oneness in the world and the universal laws of love. But when it comes to our soul substance, we have our personality there, but we have the uniqueness in our spirit. I always feel like we're a part of Creator, and Creator isn't whole without us. It'd be like losing a part of our body, so we need to get back to who we truly are. But each incarnation, we bring in a little bit of soul substance, which includes our, mental thoughts and our psychological issues that forgot who we truly are. So we're trying to remember every time. Every time we come in, we're trying to wake up and remember who we truly are. So when we bump into these places where we don't know that yet, it's really important to know that it's just a little piece of like who we are not, that we're trying to turn around and rewrite. Because, we've got the law of mutuality, the law of affinity in here, like attracts like, and we're always trying to bridge this gap. We've got 1 foot in one world, 1 foot in the other. We're here on earth, but we are eternal beings, and we're bridging the gap. We're constantly bridging the gap. So this card brings in the law of mutuality, and it reminds us that we need to open up to something greater than ourselves in order to manifest. So this card being upright shows that that's where we're headed, and we're doing great at that. And then this card, Treasure Island, comes in to tell us, oh, I love the turtle there, to remind us that our buried treasures are within. Our buried treasures are well and alive and full of everything, deep down inside of us. And our job is really just to excavate the buried treasure. And then as we're moving forward in that lesson, of course, we have to be really flexible. And I love how this, my goodness, talk about being flexible. But I love how she's on top of an egg, which is all about new life. Everything starts from an egg, from an embryo. It's brand new life. And we all have these atoms, the nucleus that's in every atom of our cells that completely can just continue to reproduce until it's no longer appropriate, on Earth, and we move back home to the spirit world. So flexibility is key, I think, is the message there. And then that, I think, is more applicable to this card here with the Hanged Man reversed, because when we have the Hanged Man reversed, there's a place where we're not really surrendered yet, where we're still trying to just work from the head, and we don't realize that there's this whole other world if we would just look at things from a different perspective. Like look up rather than down. Look sideways rather than straight ahead. Look at things from all the different angles you need to. And that's how you get yourself like out of this box where, if you just look at the image here, it's kind of like he's not fully grounded because he's only on one foot, which is okay if you're in a yoga pose. But if you just, kind of sit back and gaze at the image, like hands are on the hips and it's like, no, it's my way or the highway. And that's the same thing with this dude. So we really do have to just let go of all that. Let go of the unhealthy ego that wants to control everything. Let go of any resistance, and especially resistance to your spirit, because that is pretty much, the issue with this card. To let go of any preoccupation with the way things are now, and turn everything around and realize that you can create it all anew. Just you have to go inside, you have to get deep down inside, and then be flexible, of course, and then see things from a bigger perspective, and surrender. Like surrender to your spirit here. Surrender to your healthy ego, and surrender to, a healthy ego will surrender to your spirit is the deal, actually. A healthy ego knows that there's something bigger and something better when you let life flow the way it should. So if you're holding back and you're resisting, when the Hanged Man comes through reverse, there's often the resistance, So if there's a resistance to creating your own reality, because maybe that's scary, like maybe it's scary to think that you have that much power, and if you have that much power, then what if you fail? So there's the fear of failure in there. That we really, when it comes to manifesting what we want, we always have to go back to our fears in order to figure out what our obstacles are. Because if we don't have what we want, our task is to always look for the obstacle. And the obstacle here is just not believing in yourself. So when you decide to turn it all around and believe in yourself, there's no problem with surrendering to spirit, because it's beautiful in the experience of knowing that your spirit and your guides and all your guardian angels, they're all right there with you, inspiring you and leading you on and encouraging you and giving you everything that you didn't get when you were little that would help you, be the magician in your life now. So, okay, well, that's it for today. Thanks, you guys, and take good care. Bye.